IVB here. Today I'm going to talk to you about why I think you should look into a combo security slash automation panel like the ELK or HAI instead of a traditional security system like ADT, or the SmartThings actually has some security stuff built into it. It's easier to follow along in writing though, so let's switch over to that.
There's 4 reasons I use the ELK instead of a traditional security system: cost, safety and quality, aesthetics, and expandability. Let me show you what I mean. Cost. The monthly cost for an ELK or HI is stupendously cheap. It's $9 to $18 a month versus $40 to $75 or even more if you use ADT, etc. I happen to use Nextalarm, but there's other options as well. The devices themselves are incredibly cheap because you're really just paying for the product. The wired door and window sensors are $2 each. The motion sensors are $18. Those are for wired, so you will have to run wire in your house or hire somebody to do that. If you want wireless, it's 40 to 80 bucks based on the specific one you want. I buy all my stuff from automatedoutlet.com. I'm sure there's a million places to get it. You can also easily add more sensors over time as your budget or needs require. You don't have to bite the bullet up front. If it's the wireless ones, I added, I think, 5 window sensors several years after my initial install. It took me 5 minutes a piece. Easy peasy. And the last reason is you can use this same system for basic home automation, including Z-Wave or UPB. You don't have to buy an always-on PC or controller if you're just doing some simple things. For safety and quality, this first one's pretty huge. You can use wired smoke and heat detectors linked to the same security speakers and siren. You got no batteries to die, and when one smoke detector goes off, they all do. Your house is getting up. You can give kids their own disarm codes, and the system can text or email you when they arm or disarm it, so you know when they're coming and going. I use that all the time. You can add new disarm codes, such as letting house guests in. I have them. I live in California. I let them. I get house guests a lot. They pick their own favorite 4 to 6 digit code, and I punch it in. And when they leave to go back home, I turn that one off. Fourth reason is you want to use security class sensors for water detection instead of consumer level. I know there's a lot of cloud-based water detectors right now, but frankly, they're just not that reliable. There's a lag time, and that'd be pretty bad for something like that. And finally, the home automation, like I said, it's not cloud-based if you use the ELK, so you have no latency or dependency on an internet connection. For aesthetics, this first one I think is also pretty big. You want to use the same motion and window sensors to make your house more secure and usable for home automation, like turning lights off in empty rooms. I see an awful lot of people either putting in 2 sensors per room, which I just think is stupid. My God, that looks ugly. Or they have to pick and choose. These rooms are for security, and these rooms are for home automation. That's just dumb. Just use the same sensor for both. Second reason is you can use the same system for non-alarm monitoring, like the doggy door and driveway gate, and you can hook that into your arm or disarm system. I got a quick little demo for you how I use that every day.
Alexa, ask Jarvis to arm stay mode.
Okay, the doggy door is open. Don't forget to close it.
And the last reason is expandability. You can integrate an ELK or HAI with a full-blown home automation engine. I happen to use CQC, which is charmquark.com. I hear HomeSeer also works, and now I have access to the hundreds of devices, maybe thousands, I don't know, that CQC has drivers for. For example, stereos, TVs, projectors. I shut my whole house down when the system goes into armed away mode. And then finally, user programmable rules. If your needs change over time, or really it's not changing, but as they get more complicated because you get more comfortable with the system, it's pretty easy to just add in some more rules and some more rules. Whereas with the traditional security, you just can't do that. You got to call the guy back in. Alrighty, so now that's why you'd use it. Now let me walk you through the board and show you how that looks.
This is the main board itself. I'm going to walk you through this at a high level. I know you can't actually read it, and then I'll pull it up to the screen so you can see exactly what's written on. This is the actual main board itself. I bought a second one of these when I thought my first board was fried. Actually, it wasn't. It's just fine. So now I have this extra board. There's 16 positions, 16 zones for your sensors. And you'll see here, this is what typically you have as a door or window wired sensor. This is the part that goes into the door itself or the window. This is a water sensor that I haven't hooked up yet. These are motions. If you have ADT or one of those type of companies, you could probably use the same, actually I did use the same exact motions that they had. I just replaced the main board. It just connects via wires into this thing. You can see here, I even put in wired smoke detectors, and that's one thing I'll walk you through why you'd want to use this instead of ADT. This is where you would hook it into the phone line or your security company's internet adapter. This is the magic here. It's an RS-232 port. Either run that to your home automation controller or to, most people use an Ethernet adapter that's sitting right next to the box. That's what I did as well. And then, of course, you're probably going to have more than 16 different devices, and you probably want to run them each to their own zone so you can see which door or window is open, which motion is open. And so you have an expansion port here. If you want to add additional devices like additional input expanders or relays, or what this is this happens to be an older wireless controller because I didn't want to run wires, or I couldn't actually run wires to every location in my house. So that's the board at a high level. Now let's take a look at it close up. And you see what I was talking about here. Here are zones 1 through 16. And you can put in smokes. Most people use 2-wire smoke, so that goes right into there. If you have power devices like motion sensors, those would go right here, or carbon monoxide. This goes into your power. This is for the battery backup, so you can actually use whatever size battery backup you want. And as I mentioned, here's the phone line adapter, RS-232, and then this is it's called a data bus if you want to add additional devices. And of course, no video would be complete without me showing you how this looks on my phone. What you'll see here is this is a custom screen I created for my home automation controller, CQC. So it's got the things that I want to have on it. I'm going to walk you to the keypad portion here. So I press that keypad, and then I can type in whatever it is I'd like to see here. And the big reason I did this is I can press zones here, and I can take a look at all these specific zones and what is open and what is closed. If you don't use CQC, or if you want to just use the ELK, then there actually are products that this is what is this? This is the M1 Touch Pro. And then you can do a ton of stuff. I have never actually used these guys because I don't need to, but it looks like you can do pretty much anything you wanted to be able to do right off your phone, and there it is. It looks pretty powerful to me, and if I didn't have CQC, I think I would most assuredly get this. There you go. Thanks for watching.